And a mountain of cocaine with no Tommy to help me move it.
You got me. I've helped you before, remember? Show me.
Now, albeit I don't agree with the statement that Tariq made in episode 3 of Ghost, one thing we can't dismiss was how important Tasha was to Ghost. I've always maintained every king needs a queen, and if you have the right queen by your side, then that can elevate you to a whole nother level. And the same goes in life. Pick the right queen and you'll see how you start to thrive in areas you would never have thought you would. Although in power, Tasha wasn't a saint, but neither was Ghost and neither was Tariq St Patrick. But one thing we can't deny is, Tasha was someone who definitely played her part when it came to setting key moves in Ghost's organization. Not just in terms of cooking the books for Club Truth, she also played a part in helping Ghost in the drug game. There's a reason why the queen is the most powerful piece on the chessboard, and Tasha certainly proved her value a number of times.
If you met my mom, you'll see that she was the fucking mastermind behind all of this shit. She had everything figured out.
Now, when it comes to these kinds of statements, I do like to look at perception and perspectives, because I do think it's important to paint the whole picture from Tariq St Patrick's viewpoint on why he believes Tasha was the mastermind, even if I don't necessarily agree with what he said. But going through why Tariq said what he said will give us a better understanding why he believes what he believes. So in the rest of this video, we are going to go down memory lane. I'm going to be breaking down how and why a queen is one of the most important pieces on the chessboard, how Tasha helped Ghost in 3 times in the game. But I'm also going to dismiss the fact that she was the mastermind, because I do think Tariq is being a little harsh on his father, but also how he does have his eyes set on bigger and better, just like his father did with Simon Stern. But instead, Tariq has his eyes on bigger and better with RSJ. But let's take it back to power and have a look at some of Tasha St Patrick's chess moves. Now, one of the very first moments we saw Tasha help Ghost was during the early stages of power. Ghost and Tommy's organization was being hit, and they had no idea of who was attacking them, and it's no surprise they thought it was an inside job. Later we actually found out it was actually Kanan who hired pink sneakers, but in this moment in time, Tasha reminded Ghost of a chess move they played in the past.
Remember what those Dominican boys did to that red truck? Half went to one garage, half to another. Stopped all that bullshit.
Tasha reminded Ghost of how that stopped all that bullshit with the Dominican boys by sending body parts as a message, and that's exactly what Ghost did. But just to add to this, even though Tasha was someone who helped Ghost, he still approached Kanan when his organization was being targeted. On the other hand, if he had spoken to Tasha, I think she would have made him see the bigger picture. Roller was someone who would never have betrayed Ghost, and things would have played out very differently if Ghost had more trust in Tasha rather than Kanan. Now in season 2, at a time where Ghost was having issues with Tommy and where he had a mountain of product that had just come in from Felipe Lobos, he was stuck with how to move the product, but Tasha made a point of how she's helped him before, so we saw them both sit down where Tasha helped Ghost to come up with a plan to move the weight. Tasha said if you need to expand, then he's gonna have to think about taking the Serbian territory, an idea Ghost was against because that risked starting a war, but Tasha said it would only start a war if they knew he did it.
Thank you. Without Tommy, I need your help.
You got me, Ghost. Always have.
Tasha believed in Ghost because she was the queen by his side who often proved to be the glue. So even though Tasha had her flaws in power, nobody could question the love that she had for Ghost, at least at the early stages anyway. But I do think it's important to make this point. I don't think Tasha loved James St Patrick, the businessman. She was in love with Ghost, the drug dealer. Ghost once said to Tasha in season 1, the club was a dream, but that was James St Patrick's dream, not Tasha's. Now, even though there are countless other moments where Tasha stepped up in power, the third and final example which I want to run through is how Tasha played a part in a plan to take down Felipe Lobos, and it starts with Tommy telling Ghost they needed Tasha, and he was right. Ghost and Tommy couldn't do this on their own, and so again, Tasha proved to be the missing jigsaw piece, and Ghost couldn't have had an alibi if it wasn't for Tasha. This was even at a time where they weren't on good terms because of his relationship with Angela. We still saw her step up and go with Ghost to one of Karen Bassett's hotel, which would serve as his alibi. Now, coming to the present day, the first episode of season 3 really did put things into perspective, your perception, your reality, and that's power in a nutshell. If you look through the comment section over any video from any topic in Power Book 2 Ghost, everybody has their own views and opinions with the way they've interpreted certain events, and I think that's something that Tariq has done. Tariq saying that Tasha was the mastermind is him seeing this from one perspective, as well as his hatred for his father Ghost. At one stage he even asked Ghost to teach him the game, but he refused, and even though Kanan did introduce him to the street life and taught him some aspects of the game, let's not underestimate Tasha's influence.
Could you teach me how to move this, so no one else will get hurt?
All right, Tariq. I'm gonna teach you the game.
Tasha also once said to Tariq he can be better than Ghost was if he commits to both the legit life and the streets. And then we saw Tasha teaching Tariq the game, who needs to be paid and how they turn a profit by cutting a brick. But Tariq asked her who taught her how to cut a brick. The answer was Ghost. Ghost, who was brilliantly portrayed by Omari Hardwick, was someone who is overall a complex character shaped by a dual identity, personal demons, family issues, and where he fought against his own ethical and moral boundaries. But he was a character who was strategic, resourceful, and ruthless, who was able to switch from a Tom Ford suit and a business meeting to a hoodie with a gun in hand and disappear into the night just like a ghost. He was also a character who was thinking far beyond 3 moves ahead, and that's one thing which separated Ghost and Tasha early in Power. Ghost had a vision beyond the game, ironically something that Tasha only came around to when she saw how much the street life had cost them. The same with Tariq St Patrick. He now wants out the game he once asked his father to teach him. Ghost knew early on that this was a life that only ends in death or jail, because how many wrinkly old drug dealers do you know that survive the game? There aren't many, and if they are, what have they lost? Now we do have to say, Ghost didn't have the answer for everything, and as we established before, Tasha, Tommy, and other characters definitely played their part in helping Ghost at different stages. But at the end of the day, who was the mastermind? Tariq killed Ghost because he was in the way of his future, but as they sat around this table, Tasha was left with nothing. Tariq's trust was locked away until he graduated from a college with an average GPA of 3.5, and just like he said at the end of Power, he's not even here and he's still trying to control his life. So who won in the end? Who was the real mastermind?
Keep thinking you're fucking smarter than me. Don't ever make that mistake again, son.
Now, are we going to see Tariq proving Ghost wrong? Can Tariq be better and smarter than Ghost? Now, I don't have the answer to that, only time will tell. But what we can look at is the evidence, facts, and findings, and a certain character who Tariq may end up doing some business with.
I got to meet RSJ, right?
That's right. What's your name?
I'm Tariq St Patrick.
Good to meet you, Tariq.
RSJ is one of the richest men in America who's looking for a firm to assist with managing his investments, and I think we could all sense Tariq somewhat looks up to the wealth and power of someone like RSJ, very similar to how Ghost did with Simon Stern, except RSJ is bigger. He's also someone who's going to be in New York once again, where they said they'll set up a meeting. So this wasn't the last interaction between Tariq St Patrick and RSJ. We are going to see them meet again. So let's see if Tariq has what it takes to switch from a college hoodie to a Tom Ford suit just like Ghost and broker deals like Ghost did, because even though we do see him in a suit, we haven't seen Tariq St Patrick strike some deals in the real world of business. Not yet anyway. But based on the official synopsis for Season 3, at some point Tariq will begin to realize how much money can actually be made in the legit world, and I think RSJ will play an important part in Tariq's vision for his future, but will the game let him? So that's a breakdown of Tariq's perception and why he believes Tasha was the mastermind, with a few examples going down from memory lane of how Tasha certainly played her part. But was she really the mastermind? This is where I'm going to open the floor for you guys to give me your perceptions and perspectives, because I've already given mine. So drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section and let me know if you think RSJ will have an increased influence in Tariq's future vision, just like Simon Stern did with Ghost. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.